And it's been another week. Today we are going to talk about the value of shooting something for real versus doing it all in computer. I think it has a lot to do with why action, no matter how ramped up it gets, doesn't feel like it means anything, really, in movies anymore. On our flight back from Austin, Liza got like super sick. But Namathon was amazing, by the way. And then when we got back here, I thought I was fine. And then like a couple days ago, the throat started and the head clogged all the way up and couldn't think anymore. So the last couple days I've just been laying on the couch watching movies. And I watched the BFG, Spielberg's latest kids movie. For the most part, that movie should be called an animated film. They have the little girl who is a real live actress, and then the whole rest of the giant world around her is all animated. It's basically an animated movie. And he does these long take shots, like of these various sequences where she's kind of moving around here, the giants move over and the camera sweeps and everything. And like, he did a similar thing in Tintin. And I mean, and it's cool and everything. Camera zooms and sweeps and moves and doesn't cut and everything. But the one take deal is only truly impressive if you had to orchestrate something in order to achieve it. The timing and everything is what makes those shots amazing. So in something like that, where it all happens in the computer, it doesn't feel like anything is being achieved. Unlike, it's not even 8 seconds long, but in this other Spielberg movie called War Horse. And that movie's not great. It's like a little overly sentimental, and it's paced like a movie pre-80s. Well, actually what Spielberg and Lucas started doing in movies, but it's just pre-Raiders pacing. It's just one shot. This was done for real. The explosions were added digitally, but it's that what you had to do in order to accomplish this shot. It's amazing. You start close on the hooves, and then it pulls back so fast and covers so much ground, and like the scope of it, and you can tell it's real because the horse moves in the frame a little bit, like the camera operator's trying to keep up with all the action. What they actually had to do was, there was a rider on that horse, and they digitally removed the rider so that the horse would, move on the trajectory that they wanted. There was a rider on it. Took him out of the shot. So there's a lot of digital manipulation to that shot, but they actually had to shoot it in order to achieve it. And I love, like, just the energy of that is what's missing from a lot of the destruction of, like, the DC and Marvel movies, where there's all these things happening, but there's no actual cost to them because we know that it was all done in a computer. Intellectually, we know that. This conversation's been happening for a long time, but after watching the BFG, I thought about that shot in Tintin, and then I thought about that shot in War Horse. And that one shot in War Horse has such a visceral impact on me because it had to do it for real. To orchestrate that was such a feat, And that's what's amazing about the longer take, or the more complicated take. It's only 8 seconds, but it's an amazing 8 seconds. There's another one where he's racing down through the trenches. Another one where they digitally remove the rider. And then another guy, like, actually shooting something, but then using digital technology. Fincher does this all the time. Fincher uses digital tech for just the littlest fixes in his movies. And one of the things he does is he green screens the entire outside when the outside is visible. Like right now, if you're gonna shoot something like this, you need to see outside, you can see outside. I have to blast so much light onto me to equalize out the brightness from outside. Like if I kill this light, then this camera, since it's an auto camera, will auto correct to try and bring me up, and in order to do that, it's got to blow out those windows like crazy. So in order to, and I'm just turning the lights back on. So instead what he does is he completely green screens the outside of the house. He lights the house inside just so that it looks like a natural daylight, no light look inside of a house, and then he drops the background in at an exposure that looks like it works with the human eye. He doesn't want to have to blast so much light inside the set in order to match how the outside looks. That's daylight. So he just green screens it all and drops it in, does it in post. He keeps the light the way he wants it inside the house for the actors. So that's a use of digital technology that I think is pretty cool. And it means that he's got a pretty decent budget for visual effects if he's going to use them on something like that. I mean, he's David Fincher. Come on. Anyway, I'm working on Pops episode 10 here. I've been making a lot of good headway, and I'm going to get back to it. So that's the Pops logo. Right here's another video about camera movement that I did called On Moving the Camera. This one is about the insanity of aspect ratios on the internet. And here's one from Tony Zhu about Spielberg, because that's awesome too.
It's tough.
That's our kitten playing with something related to the Christmas tree. I hope you guys have a good week. Take it easy.